Hello, Capricorn, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're having a good start to the new year. The year adds up to a 1, which of course is numerologically about new beginnings, and I'm already really seeing that and sensing that, not only in my own life, but also friends, family, neighbors, just the world. I just really think we're going to be on the edge of our seats for this entire year. Like, what? What's happening now? I mean, my head's already spinning. So, uh, leave a comment down below if you've noticed that as well. Just, I don't want to be alone. I feel like I can't be the only one noticing this already. So, anyway, this will be your weekly reading for the week of January 11th through the 17th. And during that time, we do have the third quarter moon that comes in. And third quarter is the time when we kind of realize those things that we started during the new moon, those projects and those inner outer things that we've been working on. And we kind of bask in that full potential. It's also a time to just get rid of negative emotions and feelings and just kind of just enjoy what you've started and the things that you've been working on, right? And continue to work on those things. We then have the waning crescent moon, and that's a very stable and calm time, but it's also when we also start to be thoughtful and kind of look back on our last this last, what's the word I'm looking for, this last little time period, and I don't know why this word's escaping me right now, and kind of self-reflect and think about what we want to start on the new moon. And cycle is the word I was looking for, this past cycle. Anyway, it'll figure out, right? But that's a good time to start thinking, okay, what do I want to change when the new moon comes around? And I know I've been advising everyone that, a lot of times when the new year comes around and we all have these resolutions, don't forget that each new moon is like an opportunity for kind of a little mini new year each month, right? So if don't overwhelm yourself by trying to do too many changes at once, because remember, just make a list and maybe prioritize them. And during each of those new moons, you can make changes and start new projects and things to work on. So let me grab a drink real quick. Well, I didn't mean to get an ice cube, but I did. My apologies. Let me back off my mic for those of you with headphones. Sorry, I'm an ice muncher. It's kind of automatic for me to do that. Anyway, let's get right into this reading. I'm so sorry, Capricorn. January 11th through the 17th, your overall message for this particular reading: it's time to release negativity. So just like I was saying with that third quarter moon and that card, it comes just in the nick of time. So we're not going to be negative. We are just going to be as positive as we can this week, right? All right. As I'm shuffling the tarot, I would like to say that my fun weekly reminder this week is that you watch for synchronicities in any way that they might come to you, whether it be maybe an animal or a repeating number pattern or a song. It could be a conversation that you overhear, that sort of thing. But just, watch the world for those synchronicities. And, like if an angel number pops up, make sure you look that up and see if it has any meaning to you. I find that very often it does. I know I've been seeing 333 quite a bit. So, and I can't remember. I always have to go look those up and Google them. I need to just make a little booklet of those. They all, I just can't memorize all of them. There's too many. Anyway, so just watch for those synchronicities. That's my fun weekly reminder. You should be doing that anyway, but it's just a way for the universe to show you little breadcrumbs on your unique path. So make sure you're watching those and following those signs a little bit. So, all right, Capricorn, I'm so sorry I'm babbling. Without further ado, let's get into this reading, January 11th through the 17th. Your present energy right now is the Two of Wands. So you're definitely in a place where you're thinking about the future, and we're releasing negativity. So we're going to be thinking positively. What changes do you want to make this year? Again, it's just that time of year when we're all, resolving to do things a little differently. And what have you decided to do a little differently this year? I'm excited to know. Your current situation is the Knight of Wands. So some sort of action on the passion front. And this could be what yourself here in this card is thinking about. What is going to really drive me this year? What's something that's really going to make me happy? It could be that you focus on a hobby or something that you're very passionate about. It could be that you're throwing more passion into a relationship that you're in, more passion into your work. So it could be any numerous things that'll be different for all of you, but you're definitely wanting to take some sort of action in that realm. What is at the root of your situation is the strength card. So maybe maybe it was a year where you did build up some strength this year and you're thinking, okay, I am strong enough to make these changes and I'm going to do them now. So I like that, being very confident. In your recent past is the world card. So, this is the card of perfect balance. This is the end of the fool's journey in the major arcana. So this is dreams materialized. This is like I was talking about with the third quarter. It's like those things that you started at some point, some project that you started on, it's kind of come to fruition. And this is causing you to think, okay, what's next? What do I want to do next in my future? This could be, some project at work that came together. This could be, maybe for some of you, you got married this year and that was kind of a new journey for you, but now you're there and now we're working on, being in a new marriage. It could be that you've been married for a long time, that you've accomplished that as a goal. And now you want to kind of re-engage and throw some new passion into your relationship, that sort of thing. Could be any myriad of things. Of course, tarot is a template and it can template over so many different areas of life. What is on your mind this week is the 10 of Pentacles. So you're definitely thinking about things long term. You might be thinking about widening your investment portfolio to, to not only think about yourself, but this is a card of like thinking about the future generations. This is, how are you leaving, your kids and your grandkids and that sort of thing. And are you making the kind of decisions, for yourself and as a family that will lead to those long-term growth things for your family. So that's definitely on your mind this week. And it could be, a lot of times January is at the beginning of the year is also when we do take a look at our portfolios and make those kind of changes. And, did we invest correctly last year? Do we need to make adjustments this year? So that's something that seems to be on your mind right now. What is just ahead of you this week is the Lovers card. So again, I mean, I was already kind of getting, some sort of feeling that maybe this passion has to do with a relationship. And it could be, you might just be in a, this any number of areas of relationship. For some of you, you might be in a new relationship. I got the feeling for some of you it was like your first year of marriage. For some of you it might be that you've been married for 30 years and you're just deciding, what, we're going to do some things this year that kind of amp up our love life a little bit. Maybe start, change date night up, find different things to do that just help you enjoy time together. So that's pretty positive. I like that. In your advice position here, Capricorn, is the Eight of Swords. So you might have a situation here that you just need to think your way out of. This person looks really stuck, but these ties here are pretty gauzy around her, also around her eyes. So, and if you look, you think if she makes one wrong step, she's in trouble, but I think she can just break out. And it's just about breaking out and finding the answers to the things that might be a little frustrating or things that you feel like, that you need more confidence to do. Just release that negativity and take that step and make sure that make sure you're doing that. So that's in your advice position. It seems like there might be some area where you're feeling a little bit stuck. Is it relationship? Is it money? Is it passion? Is it strength? Whichever one of these things where you kind of feel that, I feel like you just need to push forward. Just push forward and be unstuck. And you can do that. What is beyond your control this week is feeling a little bit like you against the world with the Seven of Wands. And this could be also in any of these areas. Maybe you have a difference of opinion with your partner or, with your advisor. You might have something on your mind that you're feeling like, hey, I want to go this different way. I know you're advising me in this particular manner, but I'm going to go a different way. And that person may disagree, and that's fine. If you have something that's telling you to do that, again, trust your intuition. You may be right, you may be wrong, but you have to trust your intuition and go for things, right? What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? And this is just Eight of Pentacles is about hard work. This is about really being in that moment of hard work. I mean, I see this as being hard work, but focused work and also enjoyable. I mean, don't you enjoy it when when the world kind of, when you're working on something and the world kind of melts around you and just an hour goes by and you can't believe an hour went by because you were just so focused. I mean, I see that when it comes to working on something like that. So is that your secret desire, is to really throw yourself into something, or are you trying to avoid that? That'll be different for different Capricorn. So that's for you to individually to ask yourself and answer. I also want to show you how many eights. We now have eight, eight, eight on the table, which I think is a very lucky number. So I'm going to say, pay attention to that. Go look up that number and see what that has to say, that numerology. In your outcome position, Capricorn, is the Chariot. So through all of this, I don't see the full card in your reading, which, you're at the end of something, but it looks like you're almost making the decision here. The Chariot is about kind of gathering information to make a move. So there might be some area in your life, is it romance? Is it something financial? Is it something work related? Are you strong enough to do this? And I feel like you're gathering information to kind of make a move. And I don't think it's happening yet. I don't think it's happening this week. Maybe next week, maybe in the next few weeks or in the near future, but you're kind of gathering some information here and kind of gathering some steam on some things. You're definitely in deep thought about it here with that Two of Wands. So, very interesting. We also have 2, 7. So I want you to look up angel number 888 and also 77. See if those numbers mean anything to you. What is hidden from you this week at the bottom of the deck, Capricorn? And this is the Knight of Swords. So this is moving forward, with thought or with communication, and you are not doing that this week. I do feel like this is kind of an inner, this Knight of Wands is not, if you look at the difference between these two knights, this, look at the horse on this knight forges ahead without just go, just say it, do it. This one a little bit not as crazy, it's, but still kind of forging ahead with a pretty good clip, right? Not as slow as and gentle as the Knight of Cups, but the Knight of Wands is like, like the thoughts are coming in and you're starting to, again, gather information and gather steam, where I don't feel like you're taking a whole lot of action on it yet this week. All right, what is the final message here from the Soul Oracle deck? Final message here for Capricorn, as they look like they're getting ready to make some move, some change. All right, final message for you. And that card is love your spirit. Okay, love your spirit. So whatever, is there something that you are very passionate about? And don't not express that, right? Many people go through life. Sometimes I wonder, and asking people, what is your passion? What are you really passionate about? And some people can't really answer that question. And I think some people forget it. We go through life and life starts piling on. You have kids and you have jobs and you have all these responsibilities and all of those things. And those things are important and we have to take care of things, but also we do need to think, what are the things that drive us? What are the things that we really enjoy? What are the things that we're super passionate about? And we do need to participate and do those things because that's really important. That's a really important part of our life. So keep that in mind, Capricorn. Also, what do you need to do in the way of self-care as you're thinking about these things? I'm going to keep this card straight for anything. I guess it's my bracelet there. All right, self-care for Capricorn this week, and the card that you get is decision. Sometimes the best decision is no decision at all. Yeah, I don't think you're going to make a decision yet. I don't think you're going to make a move yet. Again, I feel like you're kind of in information gathering mode. You're thinking about long term, you're thinking about the future, you're thinking about what drives your passion. How does this affect your relationship or your family? Can I make this move? It's a little scary, something that's, and it's me against the world, but I'm strong enough, really do remember that. I think right at the root of this is that you are strong enough and you're at this ending. You're just at a place where it's time to make that move, rip off the blindfold and the thing. So you're gathering information again. I don't see this ripped off just yet, but if you come back next week, I would imagine that next week or maybe the week after that we see the Fool card, we see the Magician, we see things where you're really starting to amp up this decision making process. You're kind of thinking about it this week, and that's great. That's fine. Also, life doesn't happen in a week. Tarot readings are for a week, but sometimes things start and it's like a little seed, and sometimes that seed needs a little bit of time to grow. Just like on the wand here, those seeds are sprouting and things are growing, but it takes a little time sometimes for those things to happen. So, Capricorn, thank you so much for being here. I do hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use in your life this week. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below and let me know. Also, I'm happy to answer questions. If you leave them in the comments, I will answer those for you as well. And if you like my reading style, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel, but most importantly, it'll help you find me next week. So thanks so much, Capricorn, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.